Well, hello everyone. And guess what? Minestruck is back. Yay! So basically, if you haven't seen the other videos announcing Minestruck, or if you haven't heard about it anywhere else, Minestruck is my website for Minecrafters to share their structures that they've made. They can share structure files and screenshots and descriptions, and then they can comment on each other's, download each other's, search. You can go and check out the videos in my Minestruck playlist for more information. But recently, the website has been down. Due to budget cuts, well, not budget cuts, but due to budget constraints, and my ISP deciding that I was using too much bandwidth and I needed to upgrade my service in order to continue, which I can't afford to do, we were down for a while. But we've recently moved over to 00 Web Host, so it is a new domain name. It's on a new server, but I've tried to make sure the transition is as smooth as possible, other than obviously being down for a month or so. Um, but everything should be basically the same for you guys. The only difference is there's no more account verification. Unfortunately, that requires some special infrastructure that I was hosting on my own computer, and I can't do that with 00 Web Host. So no account verification, but everything else should be basically exactly the same as it was before. You can search, you can browse, you can still do the advanced search, you can submit, you can contact us at any time, and there's been some updates that happened actually before we went down, but also a little bit after. So I'm going to go through those with you guys. My last video was in August, and a lot has changed since then. So the first thing we've done is, sorry, right. So the first thing we did was we added a new category for your structures called farms. So there wasn't really a way to submit farm designs. You could submit them, but there was no category they fit under. Automated ones might be redstone devices, but then I realized not all farms actually involve redstone, so they needed a category of their own. So now they have one. So if you have any farm designs that you built, just create a structure file for it, and you can submit that and let anyone else download them and play with it, or modify it for their own world, or whatever you want them to do. Yeah, you can share it with the world now. And then we've also done some optimizations. Thumbnails used to be a lot larger in file size, so we fixed that. So now the site should run more smoothly than it used to. Yeah, okay, so there was some issues with the API that we were using that might have caused some problems with signing up. I was using a third-party API to figure out like whether your Minecraft username was real and your skins and all that. And it was causing some problems because they weren't keeping up to date. So a lot of times people would have an account and they'd try to sign up for an account on Minestruck, and it wouldn't recognize their account because the API hadn't updated yet. So we switched over to all of Mojang's API. So from now on, everything should be up to date as long as it's up to date with Mojang itself, which obviously it should be. So that's awesome. You can also edit your submissions. Before, when you submitted something, you couldn't edit it. You'd have to delete it and then resubmit it. Now you can just edit it. There'll be a little quill icon next to your own submissions when you view them. And then you can just edit the title, description, version, or category, and all of that fun stuff. So everything except the files themselves. If you want to change the files, then you just re-upload. And then you can also edit the information from your profile. When you go into your profile, you have a submission management box. So now you can just click edit underneath the submissions and do it from there. So anytime you update anything, you can just edit it. We've also added some builder's tools. So if you look here, we have a tools icon now, and it says analyze an NBT structure. So we only have one tool for now. That might expand in the future. But basically, you can take any NBT file and analyze it, or any NBT structure file, and analyze it. So if we take my Boneyard NBT that I've used as a structure in a map that I'm working on, and we open it up and click Analyze, and give it a second, it'll analyze the file and it'll tell you exactly what's in it, just like it does when you view a submission. The difference is it doesn't save the file on the server and it doesn't act as a submission. It doesn't add it to anything. It just uploads it, scans it, and then deletes it and reports the results back to you. So you can check any NBT file and see exactly what's in it. So let's say somebody gives you an NBT file that they didn't get from Minestruck, and you just want to make sure you have all the resources. Yeah, you can check it out here. And obviously this is a large structure that I've made. It is for a map. And it has lots of skeletons. So, yeah. Some more news. Right, so at first I moved to a different server that I was still hosting to try and optimize some things. So I did put that in the news, and then very shortly after that, maybe only a few weeks, is when my ISP shut me down. So, but luckily, now we've moved to this server. So the key thing to note here, the key difference is the website URL is now minestruck.site11.com. It used to be .dinu.com. Now it's .site11.com. So there'll be a link to that in the description below. But that's really the only difference, is no verified accounts anymore, and it's .site11.com instead of .dinu.com. Everything else is the same, and we're back up, and hopefully this should be the last time we switch servers and everything should work. The only thing that I can think of that would cause us to switch servers again or go down is if I do end up being able to host it myself again and add verified accounts back in, then I'll do that. But in all likelihood, for the foreseeable future, Minestruck is up and running, and this is how it's going to be. So, yeah. So, if you guys have any structures that you built in Minecraft that you want to share with the world, head over to minestruck.site11.com and create an account. You don't have to have an account to browse and download, but you do have to have an account to comment on people's submissions and to submit your own structures. So, yeah. Come on, join. What are you waiting for?